is the best in Cullen Bay. You're looking straight across the bay, but it's, you know, you've got all the boats in the harbour and in the Bay Area, and it is, yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, it's crystal clear water, and you can see, you know, for miles. You can see out to the ocean as well from the top deck. You'd be able to see out to the ocean as well. And there's with the rules there, so because our neighbours have built a solid wall, you can abut right up against to it, so you can build right to the perimeter, and that doesn't happen in a lot of places anymore because you've got to have the gap in between. But at Cullen Bay, you're allowed to, because they have built that, and they did it specifically, so there's no windows on that side. There's no reason for you to not be able to use their wall as part of your house. So, you know, there's an opportunity there for somebody to actually do that. My favorite thing about it, Amir, is you know, you can jump in the dinghy out the front and you can just go across the bay to the restaurants that are across there, and, you know, incredible oysters and prawns over there. And it's just, and you have a sit out in the outdoors and get a different viewpoint back to your house for the evening and have a beer or a wine sitting over there with your friends. And it's just a great location to be able to do that. And there's, you know, obviously we don't want people to drink and drive their boat, but you can have a few and come back to your house and continue having it there, or to go straight to bed. You know, it's such a lovely location to be able to do that.
Do you think that that's going to be a strong community in 20 years' time as well? Or is that only recently has it been growing? Do you think it's going to stagnate, or do you feel that it's going to be a continuous growth?
No, so there's been a new restaurant open there since we were last there. They opened a Greek restaurant in Cullen Bay. So that's a new restaurant that's opened. I know that the cafe that opens for breakfast down there is one of the most popular in Darwin, and it's been going strong for, I think, 20 years. We certainly went there when we went there 20 years ago, and it's still there. I don't think it will stagnate. You know, there's lots of there's a architect that's down there. There's the Cullen Bay Marina Management is down there. There's a few fishermen that have their own, like, you come and sign up to go fishing with them. Their offices down there. So there's a bit of tourism as well as eat joints. I know there's a beautician and a hairdresser down there. So there's lots of, all the shops are full at the moment. So it's really nice to see, you know, that is something where in small towns, that's not the same thing anymore. So it's really nice to see that Cullen Bay has got that. The community is definitely alive. When we have been to the block to look at it and check out the pontoon and stuff, and we did measurements and everything, and the neighbours would come out and talk to us, so it was lovely. You know, they're very community minded and like to be connected.
I found that ever since COVID's happened, the way that people just get stuff shipped and still connect with their next door neighbours has actually grown a lot stronger. Like, you think that everybody after isolation would just be locked in their house. I think it's actually turned the opposite. I think more people are, you know, like the stuff that you'd normally do as a chore, the stuff where you'd have to drive for half an hour to find that specific fishing rod that you want. Now everything's done on the internet. And especially being so close to the Bunnings, like any building things, when your architect says we want this particular cinder block that is going to be the cornerstone of this and that, it just gets delivered to the local Bunnings. So you're not wasting time on the chores, and whoever's your builder or your architect, they know that they can get all the supplies locally because everything is shipped. But the thing that I found much better is that now that people realize they do have spare time after their work hours, because there's less travel, as you say, everything's 20 minutes away, that spare time can actually be utilized. Is there good internet speeds in that area?
Yeah, it is. Darwin has great internet. It's definitely something that you wouldn't have to worry about. So if you wanted to you have a side hustle, you could do that. And if you wanted to work from home, you could do that quite easily. It's definitely something that's doable at Darwin in Cullen Bay. Yeah.
Wow. So I love seafood. The thought of moving to a place that has less pollution, that looks out over the ocean, where you're actually the fish come fresh. Like you're not importing them from Melbourne and then getting them to come up to Darwin. You're actually fishing a local. So there's a lot of deep sea fishing in the area. There's
Yeah.
also, as you say, I mean, there's rock pools and there's places to find oysters and that type of stuff. What is the favorite from a taste perspective that you've tasted at one of the restaurants there? Have you got a seafood idea or concept that you recommend somebody should try?
Yeah, definitely the bucket of prawns. So I love the bucket of prawns, and they're so big, like they're massive. So, they come in fresh, and you won't get any that are any older than 2 days, so they're so fresh and straight out of the ocean in Darwin. So they're incredible. Bucket of prawns is my favorite at Cullen Bay.
Tiger prawns?
I don't usually get the tiger prawns. Clayton sometimes does, but yeah, I like the smaller ones. I just find that they're tastier. They have a bit more saltiness to them, the smaller ones. The tiger prawns they're delicious too, but yeah, my favorite is the smaller ones. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what you call a smaller prawn.
I don't know what they're called either. But
Maybe they're just prawns, and then the other ones are tiger prawns. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, the tiger ones are definitely fleshier, so they taste a lot more like the actual flesh rather than whatever you're dipping it in. Do you dip
Yeah.
it in?
Thousand Island dressing, but it's one that's made by the cafe. Yeah.
Oh,
They make it
wow,
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
wow.
special.
I'm
That
a big
and a cold beer, and I don't drink beer very often, and that and a cold beer is just it's the bomb. I love it.
I'm a big fan of dory, so I like
Yeah,
a bit of John Dory and swordfish.
nice.
But
Nice.
like there's so many different varieties out there.
Yeah,
Um,
barramundi would be my fish choice. Yeah.
so do you grilled, battered?
Grilled barramundi,
Yeah.
absolutely. Grilled barramundi with salad. I always ask them not to give me the chips, and yeah, sometimes they still give them to me, and I'll eat the whole lot. But it's the fish that I go there for, not the chips. Yeah.
I tend to squeeze a lot of lemon on it. So
Yes.
some people go for a lot of pepper. I go for a lot of lemon instead. It's a different flavor, but it's making my mouth water.
Me too, Amir. I'm actually picturing myself in the dinghy going across to the restaurant to have it right now. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll tell you one of the other bonuses about Cullen Bay is that it has its own security. So there's a full-time security detail there the whole time. And it's because, the houses are a bit more upmarket than other places in Darwin. And, they just want to keep it as a safe community, and it's patrolled, and the security guards go around and check in with people. And if there's people away, if you go away, you let the security know, and they keep a closer eye on your place if you don't have house sitters in. So yeah, it's a great safe location as well.
It's funny, like you think about the millionaire next door. So people, they know that the US stars, the musicians, they come around, they visit Australia. But when you think about who you're permanently living next to, your actual neighbours, it's good to know that they're hardworking, well-to-do people, that they appreciate their privacy, and you appreciate yours. But every now and then, Christmas, Easter, you're going to rub shoulders with people that you actually enjoy sharing ideas with. So when it comes to kind of stretching your brain and not, yes, you can go fishing every day, but you also want that stimulation from somebody who's succeeded in life, in the challenge of everything from the internet age to being the new guru that does the TikToks and the young people, like all that type of stuff. So it's good to have that balance between all the hobbies, having the fresh air, but also knowing that the people next to you have actually made a name for themselves in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I know the neighbors right next door are storage unit. I do know the name of it, but I don't want to say it in case they don't want me to, but they are big in storage units around Australia. And I think they're probably the biggest storage unit owners around Australia. And they would have had to work really hard to get that business off the ground and to, capitalize on it. So they should be proud of themselves to be in the home and to have built the home they have in that location. Yeah.
Wow. Now you've had an architect have a look. Do you mind sharing some of the concepts that the architect suggested to you? Because I know sometimes when I sit with an architect, they come up with rooftop swimming pools, they come up with all sorts of grandiose ideas, and sometimes we only take 10% of what they do. But from some of the concepts, some of the ideas that have crossed your mind or you've spoken about, if you don't mind sharing.
No, I don't mind at all. The coolest idea was so we were going to have a 15-meter pool down one side that came across the front, another 5 meters across the front. No, maybe 11 meters across the front. So 15 down the side and 11 across the front. Massive pool, and they were also going to have a movie room, but it was going to be underground. The movie room is going to be underground. So
Wow.
fully insulated, no noise would get out of there, and yeah, it was going to be like a 8-seater movie room down underground, and yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Yeah.
Which I guess you could use if it's soundproof. You could use it as a recording studio. You could use it as a green screen room. So if there's actors or if there's people producing plays or producing music, all of a sudden you've got this area that, regardless of whether it's summer or winter, whether you're inviting people in or you're running the show, you've got this home theater that converts to either consuming or creating.
Yeah.
I love that idea. And
Yeah. It's
your 15 by 11 pool, is that infinity pool? So that there's
yeah.
no,
So
you can't.
infinity across the front. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can see it now. I can just imagine just sitting there with a cold drink in hand, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset. You know, I'm sure there's a song about watching the the boats come in, right? So, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Do you have any drawings, or have you got anything that has come through to the sketch stage?
We do, yeah, yeah, we do. And upstairs was where all the bedrooms were going to be, and we're going to have open, so the shutters would open upwards, so you could just have them complete, and then all the windows would stack back into the corners, and you could have that airflow through upstairs, because Darwin does get some incredible breezes, even though, you know, it's one of the hottest places in Australia to live, but it gets these incredibly beautiful breezes, and particularly being down near the water. Yeah, we were going to make full use of that and have the air flowing through, and have those hatches opened up, so it would almost look like it had wings on it outside, but you know, they would be at the front as well and at the back and all upstairs, and open it right up so that the air could flow completely through all of the bedrooms that were up there.
I love it. And I've had a very quick look at the plans. You've got 930 square meters roughly, so that's quite a big frontage. I mean, 930. That's a decent block. And I guess you wouldn't have to do a lot of lawn mowing because when you're building it, when you're constructing it with an architect in mind, they make it something that's an easy to take care of, established garden. So when you move in, they set it up so that you're not constantly there with the shears and the lawnmower. What type of concept did you have for the rest of the open area?
So inside the house, kitchen, dining, lounge was all going to be complete open plan, with the pool being the central feature, so that we could see the kitchen and dining would actually be built up a bit so that they were overlooking the bay and overlooking the pool, and then the lounge room would be down at the pool level, lounge sitting area. It was going to be a massive house though. 5
Wow.
bedrooms, 1 bedroom downstairs with a guest bathroom, guest bedroom, guest bathroom in the downstairs area or the ground floor area. And then down in the basement was the movie room, and a massive storage room for all the things that you want to take out on the water, and you know, your fishing rods and all that sort of stuff, as well as a butler's pantry. Yeah.
So that's what makes a multi-million dollar property. Bridget,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing this. I, if it's okay with you, I'm going to share this on some of my socials. But if they've got questions, can they reach out to me and I'll hand over your details? Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be really cool. Thanks, Amir.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's all we're going to do today. But I hope you had your eyes open at what happens in Darwin, in the Northern Territory. Quite often I speak about Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, but from my own portfolio, I invest in Western Australia and Port Hedland in Tasmania. So it's worthwhile checking, and if it stacks up for you, if it suits your dream list, your bucket list, if it suits the things that you're looking for, think outside the box of the suburb you live in. So keep in touch and let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Thank you, Bridget. Have a great night.
Thanks, Amir. You too.
Ciao.
Hey.